Welcome to Thronecast, Welcome to Thronecast, the official guide to Game of Thrones from Sky Atlantic HD. A man cannot make a thing happen before it's time. What time is it? Oh, it's time. Right, that was episode 6, The Old Gods and the New, or The Gods and the Gods 2.0. And coming up, Annabelle Port is going to be bringing us another superfan to dance for us like a performing bear from less enlightened days. Also, and this is exciting, Isaac Hempstead-Wright, who plays Bran Stark in the show, is going to be here. Now, I've already been and said hello to him. Here's a secret. All his limbs fully functional. I feel cheated. I'm going to throw him out of a window later. After the interview, though, before we'll be awkward. And we will be talking to Game of Thrones experts, Elio and Linda from Westeros.org. They know things, other things, savage things. Don't worry though, no nudity. Elio keeps asking, but we've told him we've got to draw a line somewhere. Well, good old Osha. And I'm not just talking about I'm talking about without her, we would have gone 2 whole weeks with no nudity. Actually, that's not strictly true. There were some riot breasts in this week's episodes, but it's difficult to enjoy that kind of thing when somebody's being ripped limb from limb by an angry mob nearby. Still nothing for the ladies, though. Let's hope that next week we see a male member of the Game of Thrones cast take their clothes off. And I'm looking at you, Hodor.
Hodor.
So good they named him twice. And speaking of Osha, I worry about her neck. That can't be a good position to keep your head in. It's going to cost her a fortune in osteopathy in later life. Although she wasn't the next star of the show this week, that would be Sir Roderick. I bet Theon wishes he'd sharpened his sword before he hacked away at that. Oh, it was like he was stabbing a raw potato. He should have soaked it in hot water first. And a bad week for Dany. Her guards were slaughtered, she was proposed to on a first date. Coming on a bit strong, that. And her dragons were stolen. She should have put bells around their necks. I'm looking forward to next week's episode. Hopefully we'll see her going around the city of Karth sellotaping these to lampposts. Annabelle Port, you've been roaming the earth once again on the hunt for a superfan. How's it been going?
It's been going very well. I imagine that when you're watching Game of Thrones, there are some scenes where you think, I'd like to do that myself. I'd like to try that out, recreate it in my own home.
Yeah, the thing with the sister on the back of the horse.
I'm not going to ask which ones, don't want to know. But I've got somebody today, a superfan, who's going to show us how it really should be done. Joining us from Mexico, we have Carolina Herrera Padillo. Hello.
Hi.
Hello, how are you?
Fine, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure. And you've made an amazing video for us. Do you want to tell us very briefly what it is?
Yeah, it's about the night when Ariane Martell finally seduces Sir Aris Oakheart.
And I believe this scene isn't actually in any of the books actually played out, but you've imagined it for the purpose of this video?
Yeah, it's where you come to see Ariane and Sir Aris after they've become lovers. So I wanted to do something that's not written in the books, and so I could have more freedom with the scene.
Great, so I think we should just watch it then.
This is going to be clean enough to watch, is it?
Oh yeah.
Right, let's have a look.
You know what I want. It's the same thing I've been wanting for the last couple of weeks.
Wow.
Wow, congratulations, that's great.
Thank you.
I thought it was wonderful. I mean, it does seem to me there's a chunk missing.
Oh, yeah, I know.
I want to ask, who was your friend? You didn't seem that keen to be involved.
Oh, yeah, he's my best friend, and he's read the first 2 books. He's not as big as a fan, but I asked him to help me out with it.
Because you didn't let him speak, has he got a funny voice?
Yeah, no. It's because I wanted to focus the video on me.
Of course, yes.
And have you got plans to make any more?
Oh, not yet. Maybe in the future.
Sure.
Well, I think I'm going to leave you, Jeff, to watch that again on your own, because as we now know, men are so weak. Thank you so much, Carolina. It was amazing.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. And if you think you can do better, let us know about it. You can email us gameofthrones@sky.com. You can find us on Facebook or Twitter. As a younger man, I often dreamt that a wild, untamed woman from the north would come into my room and offer savage things for my personal enjoyment. Often it was Mel B. And yet we're meant to believe that when Bran has a dream, it's all about three-eyed crows and chasing around inside the head of a wolf. Only Isaac Hempstead-Wright can give us the lowdown on Bran Stark. So here he is. Isaac Hempstead-Wright, Bran Stark, welcome to Thronecast.
Thank you very much, it's lovely to be here.
It's lovely to have you here now. Did you arrive by piggyback?
Yes, Hodor took me here especially with his chauffeur service.
See, if I were if I were you, I would get chauffeured by piggyback everywhere.
It's very easy, yeah. It takes a while to get to London, but...
What was your age difference between season 1 and season 2?
Season 1... Oh, well, I was 12 in season 1. Oh, I was 12 in both.
Oh, right. So he's not noticing you get heavier.
No, I was 11 in season 1. 12 in season 2.
11 season 1, 12 season 2. Is he noticing you get heavier then? Is he moaning about that?
Yeah.
And tell me about how you got involved in Game of Thrones in the first place.
Well, it was pretty much by accident, really. I just went to a small drama group and Game of Thrones was doing a huge open casting and I went for an audition and then a few others and then got the part.
What did you have to do in the audition?
Read a few lines and had to do a bit of improvisation. Cool with the
Right.
That was good fun.
Yeah. And what do you remember about turning up there the first day?
I remember, because I hadn't really done an audition for something as big as that, so I was just really excited and just excited.
And that wasn't really you falling out that window then?
Some of the takes it was, but some of the takes... Wait, no, I think the climbing was a stunt double, but I fell out the window like 30 times.
Tell me about the direwolves then. Were they real dogs in the first series?
In the first series they were, yeah, because they were still puppies, but in season 2 they're these enormous things like polar bears and they're CGI.
Is it weird having to pretend that there's a direwolf there when there isn't?
Yeah, or sometimes they have this huge stuffed direwolf there that's enormous.
Do they really?
Yeah, they use for plotting CGI, so you just hold it and there's this guy who holds the direwolf and just puts it on set. It's hilarious.
And what were the dogs? Are you good with dogs? Did you like the ones in the first season?
They were so lovely. I wanted to take it home.
And do you like Bran?
He seems really sweet and earnest. And
he does. He seems like
character.
One of the good guys. And do you think that he's got the potential to be a leader, like his brother? Is he a fighter? Is he a leader?
I think. Well, he always wanted to be a knight, and since his fall, that put that out of the question. So I think he's starting to take on his responsibilities as Lord of Winterfell. So I think he could be a leader.
Tell me about your dreams.
He has these very complicated dreams.
No, tell me about your dreams.
Oh, my dreams.
Do you ever dream of direwolves?
Nope. In a word.
And you can see the whole interview at sky.com/Game of Thrones. And you can also have a good old rummage around amongst the official stuff that's available for you to prove what a Game of Thrones nut you really are, plus lots more to entertain you. And talking of Game of Thrones nuts, here's a couple who can crack more nuts than Rickon with a rock. It's Elio and Linda from Westeros.org. Hello there.
Hi, Jeff.
Hey, Jeff.
Now, I want to go back to something that we didn't really talk about last week, so we're nattering about other things. The Warlocks of Qarth.
Qarth.
Qarth, yes, the greatest city that ever was or ever will be. Now there's that very emaciated bald guy who split himself in two. Looks like there's some kind of weird magic going on or something. Who are they? What's their deal?
Well, they used to be a lot more important, like anyone who was dealing in magic. When Valyria was around, when there was a lot of dragons around, they had a lot more power. But now the Warlocks of Qarth and the the House of the Undying, that's where they are hanging out and plotting and planning, they've diminished quite a bit, and they still do drink their shade of the evening, and that's what's giving Pyat Pri, as the guy is called, his lovely blue lips, and it's supposed to sort of take the veils from their eyes and allow them to see things that people don't normally see, like two of themselves.
He looks like he could do with going on a carbohydrate diet. He doesn't look well.
Yeah, I think he needs something more than that shade of the evening for breakfast.
And back to this week's episode. Now, Corin Halfhand mentioned Mance a couple of times, and I think we heard Cresta mention him a few weeks ago. Who is he? Is he like some kind of leader of the free folk? Where does he come from? What's his story?
Well, Mance Raider, that last name was given to him by the Watch because originally he was a wildling child who was left orphaned after the Watch put a group of raiding wildlings to a sword, so they gave him the last name Raider, and they raised him basically in the Watch, but the wildling blood was always in Mance, and he loved wildling music, he loved wildling women, he couldn't get with the discipline, and one day he left and he went beyond the wall, and he's gathered the free folk to him, and they declared him sort of the king beyond the wall. The wildlings have a long history of strong men proclaiming themselves kings and marching against the wall, and he's the latest in a long line of would-be kings who wants to take the free folk south.
Well, I'm going to download me some of that wildling music. Elio, Linda, thank you very much. See you next week.
See you, Jeff.
And don't forget, you can watch Game of Thrones anytime you like on Anytime Plus and Sky Go. We'll be straight back after episode 7. It's called A Man Without Honour, like John Profumo. Bit topical humour there. And remember, I've done many things, Khaleesi, that a righteous man would condemn. And yet here I am, with no regrets. Well, actually, apart from that time I caught myself in the zip of my onesie. Ooh.